You're listening to First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and the KEMPIRE here on KEMPIRE Radio.
Welcome, guys. It's, of course, First Bitch of the Day, episode 5. Of course, I'm here with Joe Paradise and myself, the KEMPIRE, here on KEMPIRE Radio. Joe, everyone's responding so well to the podcast so far. I just want to give a shout out to all the people that have been listening, like our girl Swan on Twitter, who tweets with us on our Friday, always sharing her thoughts.
There you go.
So shout out to everyone that's been listening, and make sure you link everyone. We're now officially on iTunes, so you don't miss a thing if you subscribe. So make sure you're subscribing to us on iTunes. But don't forget, you can also listen to First Bitch of the Day every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and then for the replay at 10 p.m. the same night. And of course, we play it sometimes over the weekend. It's been just a crazy week, Joe. I have a long bitch list, and I know you do too.
I'll bet.
And unfortunately, we got to start out with some really crazy and sad news. Have you heard about the Virginia shooting where 2 reporters were killed live on air?
Yo, whenever I seen that story break out, I was like, is this for real?
It's insane. I mean, first of all, shout out to their family and friends. It's been all over the news this week, and I mean, I remember getting the CNN alert on my phone, just saying this. I'm like, really, this happened? And I really didn't want to even watch the video. And I saw like a news clip. They didn't show the actual. I didn't see the actual shooter's footage, because the shooter also had footage. Like, he was taking his own footage of him killing these 2 people, and he posted it on his Twitter and his Facebook.
Yeah, quickly, Facebook took it down, and Twitter as well. Like, he literally posted his video. I actually got to see the video. I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But it was just crazy, because I think first when the story broke out, I watched the video where they're recording live, and then it happens, situation happens, you hear the screaming, and then it goes back to the live reporter in the studio, and her face is just like, didn't even know what to say. But anyways, the alleged shooter went ahead and posted it online. And it obviously leaked in a lot of places. Different bloggers posted it, and I didn't want to watch it, but so many people posted it. Like, sometimes on Facebook, things just start playing.
Yeah.
So I watched it without the volume though, and it's disturbing. It's like,
I can only imagine that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. And then she was there. What was she doing? She was doing a report on tourism.
Yeah, she was. They were actually on the field. Out in the field, I should say. Just doing a report, and this guy, his name is Vester Lee Flanagan. He was 41 years old. He used to work for this station back in 2013. So this is 2 years later. This guy coming back, and he reportedly said on Twitter that that these guys had made racist remarks, and okay, this is what his Twitter said. And on Twitter, his name is Bryce Williams. This was his on-air name. He said, "I filmed the shooting. See Facebook." This is one of his tweets. He said, "Adam," which was one of the cameraman that actually died. Adam went to HR on me after working with me one time. And then he also said about Allison, who was the other reporter that died. Allison made racist comments. The EEOC report filed. Then he said they hired her after that. I first have to say this. Vester is his real name, Vester Lee Flanagan. He has a history of making these sort of comments about his coworkers, and they've never been founded based on the different stations that he's worked at. He's made all of these allegations before about coworkers saying racist things, which can happen, but it just seems like everywhere you go, they're making racist comments. You're the target. They said he seemed very angry and agitated. They recommended that he go get some assistance. They really tried to make it work, and then they would just eventually let him go. The same thing happened with this particular station where Allison Parker and Adam Ward worked as well. And I don't know what clicked in his brain that he decided, I don't know if he's been planning this. I don't know. I mean, I think you have more information on some of the different reports, Joe. But it just seemed like, was this premeditated? Like, who does this?
To me, it did look premeditated. He thought about this. he planned it. You know, he did kill himself. Like, I don't know. There were so many different stories that were coming out during the time. I didn't know if he was alive still. I don't
Yeah.
know if he like. It was so confusing. At first, I thought that Allison and Adam were actual a couple. So I was like, oh wow, that's even more tragic. But then
Yeah.
it was no, it's one of the reporters that work at the station where they also work at.
Yeah.
So I think it was like a big revenge against all these people. He felt, and I saw the report too. He actually, in one of the cases, he actually settled out of court for like,
Mm.
yeah, for like back in, I don't even know what year. I'm not even gonna say, but he settled out of court for one of these racism taking it to court, and I think he was trying to do the same thing again with these people in this station, and yeah, it's crazy to me. But you know what pisses me off? In the end of the day, CNN.
Mm.
Did you know when they were reporting on the story, they were like, "Oh, plot thickens," right?
Mm-hmm.
And they brought up the fact that he's gay, and brought up
Wow.
the fact that he had gay porn sites and all this. It's like, what does that have to do with any of it?
Mm.
It was irrelevant.
Mm.
That kind of pissed me off. I was like, they tried.
You know what it is with a lot of these media outlets, and we see it in so many different ways that they do. It's not about the news anymore. It's about what's going to garner the most views, the most attention. Oh, let's go to CNN. CNN is talking about his homosexuality. They have something that another network is not
He's
talking
gay,
about.
so yeah, like
Yeah, so I mean, first it's a tragic story. They've been to so many different memorials for Allison Parker and Adam Ward throughout the week. It's insane that this can happen. And I always say this to some of my coworkers, and I say this to people. I was like, you got to be kind to everyone, because you just never know when someone's going to snap. You might be the one person they decide not to shoot, because you know what? That person's always been kind to me. But you know what? If someone's crazy, it doesn't even matter.
mm-hmm.
It doesn't even matter, and we don't. And a lot of first, I have to say this, and I'm going to be very honest, because real talk with the real host. When I first heard the story, before I heard his long history of making accusations of racism, I was like, oh, did these people really make these sort of comments? Not to say that they deserve to die either,
Yeah.
but I kind of was like, is this the situation? But no, it seems as if Vester actually had a mental problem that went untreated. Like someone dropped the ball. Like, he probably should have been on medication, or you know what I mean. It's kind of like, who does this? Who plans? He pretty much hunted these people down and murdered them. And like a punk, and I'm going to say punk because I'm sure their families feel like he's a punk. Instead of living up and serving, going to court and dealing with what he just did, he kills himself.
He killed himself. Yeah.
So, I mean, our hearts could definitely go out to the friends and family of these two reporters. You mentioned that, Allison, she was dating one of the other reporters. He actually shared photos of their relationship. They said they've been keeping it sort of on the low, which I
Just moved in
understand.
together. Yeah.
They just moved into. I mean, it's tragic. It really, really is tragic. And such young people. Allison was 24. Adam was 27. Mind you, Vester's 41. Then lived his life. These poor, kids, pretty much. Yeah, so he ended up killing himself. He posted all this stuff on his Facebook and his Twitter. I'm just kind of going through, and then the other part of that, I think they said between Tuesday night and Wednesday morning, Vester Williams, Vester Lee Flanagan, he had sent a fax, a 23-page fax to ABC News. In the fax, the sender says the shooting at a Charleston, South Carolina church earlier this summer pushed him over the edge.
Wow.
He said, "Why did I do it? I put down a deposit for a gun on June 19, 2015. The church shooting in Charleston happened on June 17, 2015, the fax said. What sent me over the top was the church shooting, and my hollow point bullets had the victim's initials on them. It's unclear who them refers to." The sender also says he's a victim of racial discrimination and sexual harassment, and that he has been targeted for being a gay black male. I have to say, I think for this particular situation, Vester clearly had mental issues.
Yeah.
And he's had mental issues for several years, and it looked like it went untreated. And And that's why I always say, and I don't know if we even discuss mental illness here on the show, there are a lot of people walking around with mental illness untreated, and that is dangerous to people around them, and it's also dangerous to themselves. Because now look at this: not only did he kill these two young people, he also injured the woman that was being interviewed. Now he's killed himself.
Yeah, it could have been. You're totally right, because obviously he had this history, and all these times he just keep going by and getting, I guess, sliding by.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are realizing he has a problem, letting him go. Not actually, they're supposed to, like, if you notice something about somebody, you're supposed to report it, so they can get treated, because you don't know what's going on when they go back home. What are they thinking?
Mm-hmm. Well, I know one of the employers that he had before, when he was making a lot of these accusations and he was, exhibiting very hostile behavior, they said they recommended him to, one of those employment assistant programs. Not sure if he ever went or got the assistance, but they really did try to get him some sort of help. He ended up moving on. I think they said he was currently working in customer service, not even working in news. They said he was actually pretty good at being a news reporter, but it just wasn't. He just had a lot of hostile issues. Like he always felt like people were being racist towards him. And it's not to say it doesn't happen. Of course it happens, but it just seemed like there was some sort of delusion going on with this guy.
It's crazy. I saw a video, a bunch of little clips of him actually reporting back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually pretty good, but it was crazy the stories he was reporting on, though. Like shootings, murder scenes, gun control. He was holding, in one of the videos, he was holding actually a K9, like a AK-47.
Wow.
And one of the news clips, it was crazy. I'm like, oh my God, that's crazy. He actually pointed at the cameraman type of way. I'm like, wow. Yeah.
Scary.
Yeah.
Well, in the like I was just mentioning, he was talking about how the recent, church shooting set him over the top. Where that kid went to the church, was part of the church services. They were having their Bible study, and he ended up killing all those people in there. Let me just make it clear to everyone: violence only begets more violence. So you deciding to, this is going to be your revenge against quote unquote white people, that's not the way to end that type of violence. I mean, like I said, we're trying to sit here and make sense out of someone that's mentally ill.
Yeah.
And that's almost impossible. All we can really do is take this situation and try and learn something from it. Mental illness is real, and if you see someone that needs the assistance, if you work with someone that's exhibiting this type of behavior, you first of all offer it to them. Make sure that everyone at the job is aware, because they need the assistance. I don't. And the thing is,
but don't be going crazy out there and saying all your coworkers, Oh my God,
most of mine are
boomers either.
Look, most of mine are. But but there are a lot of people, Joe, walking around with mental illness untreated. And I'm not big on taking medication, but some people need to take some medication. Like Vester Lee Flanagan, he needed medication.
Yes.
He needed something. Because if you sitting there plotting and planning a murder, and these people probably not even thinking about this man, all of a sudden shows up at the job. And this has happened before. I actually know there was a shooting here in New York City where a guy came back like a year later or like 2 years later and ended up shooting his boss. Mind you, this man has been gone for, how many years? But what happens is they leave one job and they're unemployed for like a year and a half. And so it's just sitting there festering, and you know what I mean? So if they had any sort of...
like, I can't get into another newsroom or whatever the case may be. I can never be another teacher in another school. Like,
Yeah, it's really, really sad. But what we can do is try and take this and learn something from it. That's all we can really do. Because, like I said, you can't make sense out of his actions because they don't make sense.
That is so true. I can't wait to hear more to this story, though, because I know more is going to develop. That is for sure. So we're going to end up talking about this again in the future.
Definitely. But first bitch of the day, we talk about everything. But we definitely wanted to talk about that situation. But let's talk about something a little bit lighter. Miley Cyrus is pansexual?
Miley Cyrus is pansexual.
What the hell is pansexual, Joe?
She was on the cover of Elle magazine, the cover itself. Oh my god, I love it. I'm like, it's so nice. She looks so pretty. She has the long hair going on and everything. But I had to look up what is pansexual, right? And pansexual.
This is the definition.
Huh?
This is the definition.
The definition? Yeah, I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I didn't know there was even a definition. I thought she made that up.
Yeah, it's online. Actually, I'm gonna read it. It goes: pansexual is a term that has been growing in recent years as a way for people to better identify their sexual identity. The word pansexual is derived from the Greek prefix pan, meaning all. The term is reflective of those who feel they are sexually, emotionally, and spiritually capable of falling in love with all genders. So I guess in a sense, she doesn't care if you have a ding-a-ling or a ding-dong.
I thought that was bisexual.
But that's what I thought. But I guess there's more an emotional connection. She's not saying, and pansexual saying is referring to all. You know, where in bisexual there's an overlap when defining bisexual or orientation. It's just just two different identities. But in her sense, I guess she just falls in love with the person. Doesn't matter what gender. Not to be confused with polysexual. Well, poly means many. Many multiple partners.
Well, this is what she said in Paper Magazine. She says, "I'm literally open to every single thing that's consenting and doesn't involve an animal, and everyone is of age." I love how she got really politically correct there. Everything that's legal, I'm down with. Yo, I'm down with any adult, anyone over the age of 18 who's down to love me. I don't relate to being a boy or girl, and I don't have to have my partner relate to boy or girl.
All right, Molly.
I mean, this is something new.
I like this idea and I like this concept. Like they said, hey, it's new. It's in recent years, but I like this concept because it's like when you're bisexual or when you claim to be bisexual, it's kind of like it's right in the middle, like boy or girl. Where poly is like, I'm just going with the flow. I'm just going with love. I'm just going with what's inside. Because sometimes I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I felt like in past, like I'm like, oh, I could see myself falling with a girl if that right girl comes along. But I guess I didn't know what.
Are you coming out as pansexual here on the show?
I think so. I may be pansexual in a way. No, I think it's a clear cut for me, though.
Right now.
Right now,
I think you are pansexual based on this conversation right now. You are pansexual.
I am open to love.
But I also thought
it's legal.
We talked about labels before here on the podcast and on the show. But this also sounds to me like trisexual, like you will try anything.
Oh no, that's different.
Oh, how's that different? Explain this to me.
That's try anything once, right?
Oh, I didn't know. I'm not trisexual.
Trisexual is anything. I would try anything once. Like I would do fisting. Wait.
Sorry. I didn't mean for that reaction.
Yeah. Miley's like, oh hell, no, not back there. Not with that.
Pansexual. I mean, that's a new. She says, I'm very open about it. Nice.
I still love that Elle magazine cover. I'm like, I remember she made a comment a few years back when she first went with the real short hair. And she's like, I'll never go with my hair again. And I'm like, don't say that. Never. I always say never either. It's like, I like the little, the cute little mohawk thing she got going on with the long hair in the back. Mullet.
But, this also goes back to, I like Miley Cyrus. She seems like a really nice person. But there's a part of me, and I think there's a lot of people that share this opinion, that she's almost an attention whore.
Yeah. Oh my god, attention whore. Yes. Jimmy, do you see her interview on Jimmy? Not Fallon. Which is the other Jimmy?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to look it up now.
But yeah, I do feel like she's somewhat of an attention whore, and I feel like she says and does things so that we will talk about it. Like now she's pansexual, now she's dating a girl. You know what I mean? Like before it was her being naked everywhere, or sleeping with this producer, or dating this person, or getting married. Like I don't know if it's just her or if she really is seeking the attention.
Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, okay.
She was on Jimmy Kimmel the other night,
Mm-hmm.
and she that outfit screamed attention.
What
It
was
was
the
funny
outfit?
because yeah, they did a video where she actually went to the streets, dressed as a reporter,
Mm-hmm.
with an Australian accent, and it was the whole skit is really really funny because she goes and asks people because tonight or well when this podcast plays it's already been a week, but the VMAs is tonight and she's hosting.
Oh, I forgot that she's hosting. Oh, that's
Yeah,
we're gonna have to do a special show just for the VMAs. Anyways,
just for the VMAs because I'm sure there's gonna be a lot to talk
a
about
lot.
because there's some drama with Nicki Minaj also, and Miley's throwing some, basically saying online or telling people that Nicki Minaj is looking for attention when clearly, well, I don't know. Anyways, in the Jimmy Kimmel thing, it's so funny because she has this outfit. She basically just has pasties on.
Oh,
And Jimmy can't concentrate. He's like looking at her outfit. But anyway, she does the skit. She goes to the street and starts asking people what they think about Miley Cyrus. And all the reactions were priceless. Like they were like, "Oh, she needs to grow up. She's just looking for attention." And one guy even was like, "I hate her whole family."
oh, damn.
Yeah, it was so funny. It was so funny. You have to watch it.
But since you brought up Nicki Minaj, let's talk about it. First of all, Nicki Minaj is opening up the MTV Video Music Awards, which is happening today, but we're recording it. You know, we recorded it ahead of time. It is what it is, people. But yeah, so Nicki Minaj is opening up the VMAs, or she opened up the VMAs at this point. But let's talk a little bit. There was that scandal situation where she was screaming racism because her video Anaconda wasn't nominated for video of the year.
Yeah.
Well, now Anaconda. She has a wax figure from the Anaconda video at Madame Tussauds. And there's a lot of things going on with that. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Joe?
Yeah, Nicki Minaj, she has a wax figure. I don't know if you gotta go check it out. She's on all four on this platform, right?
On her hands and knees.
On her hands and knees. Mind you, I remember as Azealia Banks went in when this figure first premiered, and she was just saying, how disgruntled she was and like how, a low somebody could go. But you gotta think about it again. It's Anaconda. It is kind of iconic for Nicki Minaj. We can't hate on that. But everybody's molesting this poor wax figure and posting it online. That everybody's like, the people who run the Madame Tussauds are like, they had to beef up the security around the wax figure. That's how bad it got. And I've been to one of these wax museums, the one in Orlando, and you could get up close and personal. You could take pictures like it's selfies. So it's the wax figures alone. They're made. The artist has to sit there for 4 hours, and they have to get measured. They have to be like the artist. It's really detailed. But anyways, everybody's molesting Nicki Minaj, and they had to beef up the security, have people around the security to make sure nobody's doing no obscenity. But it was really funny, and it's really fun to see those pictures online, though, even though they are kind of tasteless.
I mean, I always see this when you go to the Madame Tussauds wax museum. You see people taking pictures, and they're doing all kinds of interesting poses with the wax figures. There were a lot of people online, especially minorities, feeling like having this black woman bent on all fours from the video was I guess they were insinuating that it was kind of racist, that they had her on all fours instead of just like some of the other wax figures. I mean, it is from the Anaconda video, so
but she agreed to it. She signed off on this, so she approved it.
Yeah. I mean, one of the pictures that stands out to me in regards to people, pretty much quote unquote molesting her wax figure is the guy pretty much hitting her from the back, like he got his area, up against her backside, pretty much like he's hitting it from the back. I'm not surprised. It didn't bother me until people really started making a lot of like it was everywhere. People just talking about, okay, everybody taking all these pictures and blah 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 blah. It's inappropriate. I mean, you should see some of the other pictures people post with other wax figures.
I know. I feel so bad because I'm like, it's so inappropriate. It's funny to see, but I remember I went recently to the wax museum, like I said, and I have a picture I posted on my Instagram at Joe Paradise where I'm sitting on the table with Audrey Hepburn from The Breakfast Club or Tiffany's Breakfast with Tiffany's.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I kind of in the picture I'm trying to capture a moment like if I'm fingering her. I don't know.
Oh my!
And I thought it was pretty funny because her face and everything, the pose, and I thought it was hilarious. But now I'm like, I feel bad because I molested Audrey Hepburn.
Nice. Well, the thing is though, with that, I mean, I've been to a couple of the wax museums. If you look at the wax figures, a lot of them look dirty because so many people are touching them, taking pictures with them. First of all, you may not want to be rubbing up on those wax figures because everybody named Mama rubs up on those wax figures. It's not sanitary.
They clean them. They get makeups and makeup reduced.
They look dirty to me.
Well, I don't know. You've been to the one up there, so I could see that.
The one in Times Square, and also I think I've been to the one in Vegas. But I don't know. I mean, I didn't, like I said, I didn't think it was a big deal until people started making a big deal.
Yeah. Bring attention to it.
Maybe it is inappropriate, but people, I'm telling you, if you see the pictures people take with other wax figures, you'd be like, oh, that's inappropriate. But I don't know. I think we're also in this state right now that we are so hypersensitive when it comes to racism and sexism and all this other stuff that like everything is a news story. Everything is a soundbite. Everything is, you know what I mean? Everyone's just so like, oh, that's racism. You shouldn't be doing that. But like you said, Nicki Minaj approved that figure. She didn't see anything wrong with it because basically that's what she was doing in the video.
Exactly.
So, which brings me to my bitch list. I have a long bitch list today.
I was going to say, I'm like,
If you're just tuning in, it's first bitch of the day with Joe Paradise and me, the KEMPIRE. Okay, so because we're talking about Nicki Minaj and the Anaconda video and, the over-sexualized world that we live in, can we talk about Black China and Amber Rose? They're getting a reality show.
Can we not? Oh, wait.
Oh, I mean, we could move on, but something that happened the other day that I saw on Black China's Instagram that kind of made me like, really? Well, Black China's Instagram, and I'm sure this is not the first time. I don't follow her. I just randomly saw someone post a clip from her. She pretty much was twerking, showing her big old booty on Instagram. And I really don't usually care about those things. I remember Amber Rose did the same thing. And she quote unquote broke the internet. My thing is though, these are the same women that say, I remember Amber Rose said she was going to do some sort of like slut walk, because everyone's always slut shaming her and other people, they need to stop doing that. Okay, I understand it and I agree. People shouldn't be, slut shaming people. But when you get up on Instagram in a thong or barely nothing there, and you're twerking your big old booty in people's face, what do you think they're going to think of you?
They're going to be like, yes, girl, get it.
My thing is, they're not going to think, oh, she has a wonderful mind. She's a great businesswoman. She's a wonderful mother. They're not thinking that. Although we would love for people to look beyond all of that and think on a higher level, trust and believe, mother, father, they are not.
She wants people to see what she's working with. What's wrong with that?
My thing is though, you're trying to brand yourself to be this businesswoman. I have this business. I'm doing this. I'm acting, but I'm not going to take you serious about us focusing on your brands and your businesses if all you show us is your tits and your ass.
So this reality show that she's gonna have with Black China and Amber Rose are gonna have, is it gonna be about them twerking and getting their groove on at the club?
Pretty much, it's supposed to be following them as they pursue their different careers. I don't know what those careers entail, but I mean they haven't confirmed that this reality show is even happening. But what made me get annoyed was when I saw Black China twerking, and I'm sure she twerks all the time on her Instagram. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, these are the same ladies that are saying, oh, I want you to you focus on my brands. I don't like the slut shaming and things like that. And yeah, I get that, but Amber and Black, only reason why people don't even know who you are and why you get a paycheck is because of the men you slept with.
Mm.
They don't. You didn't get this on your own. You didn't, all of a sudden, work your way up, and now you have this notoriety. You both are known because of the men you slept with, or
And
the
nobody
men
and
you
nobody and
slept
nobody's
with.
mad on your come up either. Like I don't be mad at people who be on a come up because
No, not at
they met
all.
their rapper boyfriend. But if you're gonna if you're gonna change and you're gonna tell people you're not the person what you're showing to be, then why keep showing us
Just
anything?
that side.
Exactly. It's like, and I saw something about that show that they're gonna do. It's not confirmed. You said, right?
Yeah, I haven't. I
About
don't think
it
VH1
wasn't
has
gonna be
released.
it wasn't gonna be a ratchet show. That's one of the
No one will
things I saw.
watch if it's not a ratchet show.
That's what I was saying. I'm like, okay, so we're gonna see them doing the business and they're gonna be classy. How? I mean, if they're gonna have a show, I want it to be ratchet. I don't want to see anything else. Why would I want to see anything else if it's them too?
My thing is that if you want a classy show, you have to have class. Class you can't buy. Class doesn't just show up one day. You can't pretend to have class.
I bought mine the other day on Groupons, and I'm waiting for it to come in the mail. So.
Well, I wish you luck with that because people are going to see right through that.
Oh hell no! You're calling me not classy. I'm already classy, bitch.
Well, you said that you went and purchased it. So you pretty much said you had no class and you had to buy it.
Yeah. I would love to go on their show though, just to
Not
meet
me.
them. So, let me stop.
They're on my bitch list, and I'm not calling them a bitch. I'm just saying their actions are making me bitch. Just saying.
Didn't they hate each other? I don't know. I can't keep up with these people.
No, they've always been cool. I think
Uh,
Black China and Amber. I really don't care.
if
Can we
they
move on?
if the I be seeing like little clips and videos of Black China online, and she seems a little ratchet in the whole Kylie thing, and
Oh,
it just be so funny, like her trying to compete with that 18-year-old. Like, cut it out, stop it, let her go.
pretty much. But this brings me to an even bigger topic because I actually had a really great conversation with a friend the other day in regards to is America more racist or are they more sexist? And she's a female, and she pretty much said to me like she doesn't want Hillary Clinton to win because she's a woman and because of the many countries that we deal with that do not respect women. And she feels like that's going to be a reflection on the United States. They're not going to respect the United States. There are a lot of doors that we're not going to be able to get into because Hillary is a woman. And that made me step back and be like, wait a second, is America more racist than they are sexist? What do you think?
She has a really good. I don't know. It really makes me think. Like, it's true. Maybe other countries would see us differently, but I feel like a lot of other countries don't like us anyways, regardless. So a lot of stuff they're doing, it's like I guess we're the known to change the world in a sense, and maybe having a female in power. All I'm saying is, whoever's next president, I'm gonna listen to what they're gonna have to say because you want to hear what they're gonna provide to us. I just don't want to pick somebody because of their gender either. That's just my personal opinion.
True.
I want to know, like, what are you going to bring to the table? What are you doing for us? So I do want to see more candidates, I guess. I know we're still far along, but I want to hear what what they have to bring.
I mean, there are rumors that Vice President Biden may run for the Democratic vote. There still hasn't been any sort of confirmation, but right now, Hillary seems to be the person that they are pushing as the Democratic candidate for the presidency. I don't know. It really, and I actually thought this before, when she was running against, for the Democratic presidency against Obama. And I said, this is going to be a clear sign that if America is more racist versus being sexist. And to me, her not winning, I mean, and I'm sure there are a lot of other elements of the reason why she didn't win the primary, for that. But I do believe America is probably more sexist than they are racist. I really do. I really do think that. And what my friend was saying was that, countries like Saudi Arabia, those Middle Eastern countries, where women have to go through separate entrances and, there's certain things that women, have to do in those countries that if she was visiting those countries, she probably would have to do as well. Um, I don't,
Yeah.
I
Wow.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how that would work, but I've always believed, and this is probably, I don't know if I stole this quote from someone. I probably have, but it's become it's probably become what I really believe, that the change that we need to see in the world will come on the shoulders of a woman.
Mm.
And I feel like the reason why there's so much turmoil going on in the world is because we have not allowed women to be their best self.
Yeah.
And not to say that Hillary Clinton is the saving grace, but I do believe that we need to give women more opportunities to really lead, in business, in, politics, and also in the country. We've never had a woman lead this country. What would that be like? There are other countries around the world that have women as their, they may not be called presidents, but as their top, leaders in their countries.
Yeah.
We are the only ones that really haven't, done that, as a major power.
It's just crazy to me. It's and I would love to see that one day. Hopefully, I'm around to see it because I want to see it. How would that look like? Because
You may be around if
like
Hillary wins.
oh, hello. Oh, I would love that. That would be amazing. But it's just crazy. We just gotta take labels away and then take away, like, everybody's equal. Women have the power. It's just many years. Women's. We always see women. Well, not myself. I grew out of that. But when I was a child, we always seen women as a weaker of the two, I guess. And growing up and growing up and learning, like, that's not the case at all. That's not the case. There's so many powerful women as well as men, and we just need to see more women in that power.
I mean, women still now, they don't make as much as men in the workforce. Women are trying to gain equality. But like I was saying, I feel like, we always are talking about, racism and things like that. But, one of the biggest prejudices is sexism. And that just seems to be continuous, and that hasn't really changed. And I said, I'm going to bring this topic to my bitch list for first bitch of the day, because I really feel like Hillary needs an opportunity, but I also feel like a woman in general, and never mind just Hillary, a woman needs an opportunity, Republican or Democrat. But speaking of Republicans, it seems as if Donald Trump, I know we've talked about it before, it seems, it seems as if Donald Trump has a real opportunity to become the Republican candidate. And you, as people that don't know Joe Paradise, you're Hispanic. How do you feel? Are you going to vote for him? I mean, he's speaking all the things people want to hear.
I get it. I get his reforms or whatever, what he's trying to say. But
about Mexicans?
No, about immigration. Immigration. There should be a little, I don't know.
I mean, there definitely should be some sort of immigration reform. There's a lot of things that need to happen in America.
I feel like, a lot of those, like, it happened. I think it was in 1970 something, one of those years that all the I forgot. Oh, I should have looked this up. But all the immigrants at the time in the States got this free pass. That whoever was an immigrant to go and be a citizen of the United States. I feel like if certain things was to change in the future, something like that should be done again, because people are always scared to, like, nobody wants to be deported. I feel like a lot of people here in the country, that everybody's doing their part, regardless if they're supposed to be here or not. So it's really, there's a lot of crime, a lot of stuff. So Donald Trump, to me, is like categorizing, like, certain things to a certain topic or subject, and just the way he is overall, I don't want to see him as president. I just don't. And he's so disrespectful, not only to immigrants but to women as well, because there's many times, like, he was just something he said about Rosie O'Donnell, like, the other day. I don't know. He's just really, it's hard to swallow. And I'm gonna say right here, if he's president, I will move.
You know when people say that. I don't know. I mean, to me, I get why people like what he's saying, but my biggest thing with the Republicans, with him, is no matter what, I can understand you. I can sit here and point out all the things that are wrong with America, and I can say, we need to change this, we need to change that. But what is the change that I'm going to bring to the table? Mm-hmm. You can say the things that we need to change, but do you have an actual plan? Because, you have these little not a little business. Yeah, you have these businesses and you've been successful as a businessman, but that doesn't mean you can also run a country. You know what I mean?
Like, tell me, what are you going to do? Don't tell me what the issue is or what the problem is. It's like that thing, pointing finger. Don't point a finger. Tell me what you're going to do.
Yeah, like what is your, what are your solutions?
Yo, did you see the other day he was having a press conference and a really known Spanish reporter, Jorge Ramos.
From Univision, right?
From Univision, yeah. Like, he was trying to ask a question. I'm not sure if Jorge did step the line or if there was, he didn't get called upon. Maybe he didn't get called upon throughout that whole thing. I don't know. But we see a point in the video and where, like, Donald is just telling him, oh, go back to Univision. I'm like, what? Oh.
What he really wanted to say is go back to Mexico. That's what he wanted to say.
Yeah, like
that's what he wanted to say. Just saying. I mean, I like the conversations that are happening right now because they need to happen. It's a little scary because Donald Trump, although he's a businessman, you also realize he was a reality star too, right? Like, are you guys really ready to elect a reality star as your next president?
Oh, but he's fired from Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, yeah, because of his comments.
But yeah, he's fired. I'm like, how are they going to have a Celebrity Apprentice without him? I don't know. It's like Fashion Police without Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, they're doing it without Joan Rivers. And apparently they're going to do Apprentice without...
They got... So, remember? They're on hold ever since the whole Zendaya thing.
No, but they're coming back. Allegedly, they're coming back with, like, Nene is going to be guest hosting and some other people. I mean, I barely ever watched that show.
Yeah, I know. Kelly's not going back.
Kelly, yeah.
Anyway. Juliana is. Even though Juliana's not working for E! Entertainment, but she is working for that show still.
Juliana needs to eat.
She needs a burger, yeah. But, maybe she is eating that burger. We don't know.
Whatever.
How do we get into this?
Always flipping onto some other topics. But yeah, we want to hear from you guys. Go to our Twitter, go to our Facebook. Everything is First Bitch of the Day. On Twitter and on Instagram, it's the number 1 BOTD. Again, that's the number 1 BOTD. Follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. We want you to join the conversation. Do you think America is more racist or more sexist? I want to hear from you guys. Let's talk about it. That's on my bitch list, but I got a bunch of other stuff. What else do you want to talk about, though? Because, I feel like I take over everything.
You know what? Something I noticed, though, but we talk a lot about the internet and videos. Mm-hmm. People who steal videos. And when they don't, I don't mind if I see a video that's kind of like taken, but at least give credit to the actual person you got it from. Mm-hmm. Like, I just see a lot of bloggers and a lot of, like, people online that are doing that. And they get paid, like, lots of money. Online.
Oh. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've had that happen to me before where I've been given footage to post on, like, my different, websites and stuff like that under my own, platform. Uh-huh. And people have stolen it. But all I do is go right to their page because, YouTube has that report thing. Report, copyright, infringement. Look, I don't play with that, but it's kind of hard to keep up with because if that really starts spreading.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to see the other day this video of this girl in a car and she's driving and she's listening to Worth It and she's like doing a dance and people are like, oh, this is the way I drive when I drive. And it's her just dancing. So I see one of the hits, one of the vloggers there got like 25.6 million views on this video.
Oh wow!
Gives no credit, and I was doing research. I'm like, where does this video comes from? Mm-hmm. And it's a video called "Driving with Liza" on YouTube. And
Oh.
it's so funny from beginning to end. Like the whole video itself is so freaking funny. But I feel bad because I'm like that video, her original video on her page has 25,000 views.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? But this other person is making like so money off of her and not giving no credit. That's just something I saw. I'm like, wow, that's crazy to me, you know?
She better go
But people do it all
contact
the
them.
time though. People steal from everybody all the time. It's like, what can we do, right?
You could do what Prince does. If you post a Prince song on Instagram, trust and believe that gets shut down. Prince does not play. You know he's releasing his album exclusively through Tidal. He still doesn't have his music up anywhere else.
Title is still happening because from reports I see that Title's actually gonna go down this year.
Are they?
That's what I've been seeing. I don't know.
Well, I guess it'll go
Well,
down after Prince releases his album.
I'm so mad though. Speaking of Prince, is he Prince now? Because I remember one time he was calling himself the symbol formerly known as Prince. He's back to Prince, right?
He's back to Prince.
Oh, okay.
He's been back to Prince for like
I
the
missed
last
a chance to
decade.
see him in
Where the hell
concert.
have you been?
Hey, he hasn't released an album in a long time, I guess.
I guess.
I missed the opportunity to actually see him in concert a few years back when I wasn't into like music and a big, out of the box type of thing, and I was in this little, reggaeton kind of young Puerto Rican listening. But anyways, I had a chance to go see a Prince concert and I turned it down. Really mad about that. Don't be laughing at my.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, where do we go from there?
So much is happening today. I'm like going through like tonight's like the VMAs, Big Brother, I Am Kate. Like I don't even know what to do.
Speaking of Big Brother, can we talk about Tila Tequila? You told me some stupid story that she's a Hitler, pro Hitler woman.
She was this girl. A little backstory. There's a celebrity Big Brother in the UK, which I wanted to bring to the US because they take a lot of artists from the US and bring them over. And I'm a big fan of Big Brother here.
We know.
Yeah. So it's really hard to watch the, celebrity Big Brother in UK, when I don't live there. I could search it online, but I'm too lazy for all that. Anyways, well, Tila Tequila is one of the cast or one of the housemates, and she's in the house. She's with other celebrities, and I guess.
I hope. Can you just explain to people, because I'm sure there's a bunch of people listening to First Bitch of the Day here on KEMPIRE Radio and wondering who the hell is Tila Tequila.
If you don't know who Tila Tequila is, you never had MySpace, and I feel really, really, really old right now because originally Tila Tequila was she had a MySpace page, and she became really famous because back then if you got a lot of hits, you become really famous. She was like probably everybody's top 8 when you couldn't change it. As soon as I was able to, she was out of that, but she became really popular on the show, and then she had her own reality show like For the Love of Tila Tequila. And she was, speaking of pansexual earlier, she is bisexual, known as to be a bisexual. So the show was really funny or really entertaining because it was her looking for love, but she had girls and guys.
Oh.
So she became really popular more after that. Obviously, the past few years, she's been on I'll see little reports about her here and there. I remember one time, I don't know if you ever got to see Between Two Ferns.
No.
Between Two Ferns is with this famous actor in Hollywood. He does these funny interviews, and he's interviewed Jennifer Aniston, but Tila Tequila is one of the guests too on the show, and he's focusing more on Tila, which is really funny because you have Jennifer Aniston there. Anyways, she was cast to go on the Celebrity Big Brother UK, and I guess she's always trying to get attention. She's one of those attention whores, we like to call them, right? Yeah, and a couple of years back, she posted a picture of her with a Nazi outfit on.
Oh.
Yeah, and I guess it leaked or whatever it may be, and they actually removed her from the show. She didn't get to actually get eliminated or get kicked off. The producers, I guess, was really offended by these pictures from a few years back, and they took her off the show. They were like, "Oh, Tila, come here, girl."
Does she still feel that way? I mean,
there's an interview that they actually questioned her because obviously she doesn't miss a second of attention that she could get. So she pleading to the producers to take her back to put on the show that she doesn't feel this way, that she just doesn't feel that way, and maybe at the time she's also referring to being on drugs, and she's just throwing everything out there to get herself like, oh, I'm not pro Hitler, no, I'm not a Nazi, like that's not me. That she was not in a good mental state at the time.
But that's and not that I'm pro Tila Tequila. I barely know who the chick is, but but my thing is, though, should we be judged on our past, quote unquote mistakes? Should that affect what we're trying to do now?
Yeah, everybody does that. Everybody always does that for anything, for the presidential. All these emails of like what Hillary sent. It's like they always people like to look up dirt, and it's like if they signed her up for this show already, I feel bad for her because she probably hasn't got paid in a long time, so she probably thought she was gonna get money to do this. Because I saw in a report too that she's actually not gonna receive anything. They actually was gonna pay her $100,000 to participate on the show, and now they're not gonna pay her squat.
Wow. But maybe there was something in her contract that said, you need to disclose any, prior whatever, and maybe she didn't disclose that. Maybe she didn't even think about it. There's a lot of things that we do in life that we probably wouldn't remember to disclose if someone said, is there anything that might affect your time being here on the show? But
you might not get this show.
Yeah,
you might not get this shot. Yeah.
Big Brother, though, has a lot of big sponsors. Like you said, it's a very popular show over in the UK. They probably have a lot of big sponsors, and they don't feel like Tila is worth losing those sponsors. So that could be, they're probably like, let's not. It may not be a big deal, but let's not even take the risk.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely I don't blame for removing because no. Sorry, Tequila, you should have been removed. Obviously, you have a certain thought process, and people don't want to be associated with that. That's it. That's what it comes down to. So big mistakes, like when anything you do in life, it always comes back to haunt you at the end.
Speaking of mistakes that may come to haunt you at the end, Chris Brown has gotten a new tattoo. If you haven't realized, Chris Brown has tattoos all over his body, but now his new tattoo is on the back side of his head.
Yes.
I know it's like a Greek mythology, it's like statue. It's like a big old woman's face, from like Greek mythology, tattooed on the back of his head.
He finish it, right?
So I don't know. I mean, apparently with Chris, nothing's ever finished when it comes to tattoos on his body. Yeah, I don't know about this. I mean, first of all, Chris also announced on his Twitter that his new album will be called Royalty after his daughter. So that's beautiful. But yeah, so he posted on his Instagram the tattoo, his new tattoo. He pretty much had to shave the back of his head so he could do this new tattoo. I mean, I expect this of Chris. I mean, it's not a big deal. You won't even find this story on KEMPIREDAILY.com because it's not a big deal because it's his blog. But I like to use this as a cautionary tale for all of his fans or anyone that wants to get a tattoo. Don't think that you can get this tattoo and put this on the backside of your head. This is what? Chris Brown. You are still working at McDonald's, or you're still working that janitor's job, and nothing wrong with working those jobs. But what I'm saying is that you're not gonna get another job by getting a tattoo like that on the backside of your head.
You know what? This is tattoo discrimination.
But no, you think if you went to corporate America, they're going to be like, yeah, we're going to hire this one.
It's because people pay attention to that stuff. Just because what I have in my body doesn't necessarily should represent or who I am inside.
I agree.
And you know what? It's like, it's one of those things, like, I wish I was covered in tattoos. Like, that would be my thing, right? Mm-hmm. But I think about that. I do think about that. I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, I have an arm sleeve right now. Mm-hmm. I wish I could finish it all the way to my hand. But then I have to think about corporate America. And I can't do that because I may not land this sort of job, you
Well,
know.
you're a little different because, and it falls in the same with Chris Brown. Not that you're Chris Brown, but you work in sort of now that you know you're doing this podcast and things like you work in sort of entertainment, so you can almost get a free pass. But I'm talking about those people that are in their early 20s and they're trying to. Break. They may not even trying to break into entertainment, but they're like, oh, I'm gonna do this tattoo. Tattoos are permanent. Yeah, you can get them removed, but first of all, they're painful and costly, even more costly than it took you to get the tattoo itself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just reminding people: do not get that tattoo in the back. I have no problem you getting tattoos on your body, but get them in areas that you can cover up.
That is good advice for the young listeners out there because no, truly, people will judge you. They will look at you and you can't, and you're young, and you should have time to think about those. Those are life decisions that's gonna stick around you for the rest. It's one of these things again, like you said. It's like you have to really think about it before you actually do it because you want to make sure.
That thing is too. Like I always think to myself because I don't have any tattoos on my body. But I was going to get one. Really? I was thinking about one, but then I was like, when you get old, what is that tattoo gonna look like? Fabulous. And I have another. I'm adding to my bitch. My bitch list is getting longer and longer. Sorry, people. But also, can we talk about the people that get the tattoos on their knuckles, on their fingers, right there on the finger area, right between your knuckle and your finger? Those look. You look like a straight up gang member. Please stop getting those tattoos.
I don't like. I mean, I personally don't like those. I don't like those little random ones that people have throughout their body, like some that don't even look like they should be long, like little jailhouse tattoos. I like to call them.
Yeah, I don't like. First of all, I don't like the tattoos that were like I said because although you may be pursuing a career as a rapper or that's all well and good, but if you aren't guaranteed that you're going to make it in this business. Then you might want to get those tattoos in areas that you can cover up later. These people got face tattoos. Like, look at Birdman and Lil Wayne. They were determined to make it in this business because that's the only business where you can have tattoos all over your face.
They had no choice. What about Gucci Mane?
It was either be in the music business or I'm not going to even say the next thing. There aren't a lot of options. So, as I said, Chris Brown, kudos to you because you have millions of dollars and own 14 Burger Kings. Did you hear that story?
He owns 14 Burger Kings?
He owns 14 Burger Kings because he was doing some sort of interview and they were asking for like different things that, people wouldn't know about him. He owns about 14 Burger Kings. Make
that money, Chris Brown. You saw that picture a few weeks ago that he posted a picture on Instagram of his shoe closet, of his closet. It was enormous. It was like the size of my house with stairs and ladders and shit. And I'm like, wow, what I will give for that closet. I
just of shoes?
Of shoes, yeah, it's crazy. But guess who turned around and posted another picture at Chris?
Who?
You haven't heard the story yet, huh? Nick Cannon posted a picture on Instagram of his shoe closet at Chris, trying to say, oh yeah, my closet is bigger and better.
The Mariah buy it building for you,
but showing off at the same time, and I'm like, you're looking kind of desperate there, Nick. Let it go.
Speaking of desperate, Chris Brown. We have a lot of Chris Brown story today. Chris Brown was, rewind. Karuchi posted another thought picture. All these thoughts. She posted a picture, and you pretty much could see her butt in a thong on her Instagram. And Marcus Houston, the singer, posted, he had posted this long comment about, pretty much flirting. So where Chris Brown, on Karuchi's picture, Chris Brown comes out of nowhere and comments on the same post, and he put hashtag "Go home, Roger." You remember sister?
Oh my God!
You remember sister where? Yeah,
of course. Go home, Roger. Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
That is super funny. So that's all he said?
That's all he said. He didn't get real crazy with it. He was like, "Go home, Roger." I thought that was really cute. But yeah, apparently Chris Brown is still on Karuchi's pictures. Really?
Oh, he's still. I'll bet he's not following her, but still stalking. And you know, so funny whenever when some of these celebrities do right, it's like, wow, who pays attention? Because you know how many people comment on these celebrity pictures? It's like the comments just disappears. It's obviously Chris Brown didn't actually see the comment that that Houston left. But he obviously saw it online or somebody posted about it. But it's funny, these people that actually catch these things, It's like, whoa, Taylor Swift, like a few weeks ago, Taylor Swift liked a certain post on Tumblr where it shows all these different celebrities and how they interact with their fans. And it's like awkward pictures. Like it shows Avril, like, look like she doesn't want to take the picture with the person. It shows Katy Perry, Britney Spears, all these celebrities. And then it also says versus how Taylor Swift interacts with her fans. And it shows her, like, her fans and laughing and kissing them and stuff like that. And she actually liked that post. Yo, the internet went crazy. That actually Avril had to respond and was like, I loved my fans and like posted this picture. And it was like her interacting with her fans and kissing and doing all that same stuff. So it's just funny how everybody pays attention to any little detail, any little thing a celebrity does online or comments. It's like, oh, do they sit there like, oh, wow, we got the story of the day. I want to catch one of those stories.
Really? No, but it's true. You'd be surprised, and I'm really surprised that people caught his comment. But if Chris Brown comments on a photo, people are going to pay attention.
Yeah.
But go home, Roger.
Roger, funny, hilarious.
And okay, so this has been a story that's been on like the news waves all week. So many different editorials have come out about this story. Rentboy.com. If you're straight and you're listening to this, Rentboy.com.
Go home, Roger.
Rentboy.com is a site where male escorts are able to post their profiles and get gentlemen callers. Yeah. So the Homeland Security shut down this business this past week and arrested the CEO and like 6 other people in their New York office. But it's been like, I saw so many different jokes on Facebook from gay men just saying, like, I guess people won't be having a great weekend this weekend. Or like really shady, like,
well, I saw somebody
slut
comment.
Slut shaming. Pretty much.
I know a few people that just lost their jobs. That was a funny one.
And then I also saw editorials about people saying, okay, this is an attack on the gay community from the Homeland Security, because they're saying, why is Homeland Security focused on these guys when there's so many, there's human trafficking going on, there's so many other issues in terrorism that they should be concerned about. Why are they focusing on Rentboy.com? And which brought me to my idea. First of all, prostitution is illegal throughout the United States, except I think Nevada.
Yeah.
So I do know of Rentboy.com. I do not have a profile. Do not touch me. I know of it because never mind.
I'll bet. You know, so funny. I used to see like they advertise like crazy.
That's what I
was like on certain sites. That's how I knew about it. Nobody would talk about it, but I will see it, and I'm like, they wasn't necessarily saying in their profile on the page that they were soliciting sex or selling sex, but they are, or they were. It was clear, like, hello, Rentboy.
And the thing is, I never really thought about it, and that's probably why I never thought about it, and that's probably why they've been under the radar for so long. People know about it, but they don't realize that it actually is an escort service. And they've been around for like 2 decades.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
Making millions of dollars to allow these male escorts to post on their website.
It makes me kind of mad because I could have been making some money before when I was younger. Let me stop.
I couldn't even imagine doing that, to be honest. I mean, I get it. And, this was part of the editorials that I've been seeing. People are saying, now these male escorts do not have a safe place to pretty much to sell themselves. A lot of times, people are thrown out of their homes because they're gay or whatever it may reason, and they turn to being an escort to make a living so they don't have to sleep on the street. I mean, I get everyone's side on this, and that makes me Switzerland, and I understand that. But go ahead.
They had to. I feel like in a way they had to change those laws. If you want something to happen, you have to fight for something. But then again, It's just crazy because it's not legal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, if they want to sell their body, yo, go ahead, do you, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that want to pay for it. Obviously, this thing was around for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but are these people getting? I guess it's, we say, oh, why is Homeland Security attacking them? Were they paying taxes?
Obviously not.
Were these people from, the CEOs and the people that were running this business, were they paying all that? You know what I'm saying? I think it more had to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, like I said, I don't know the specific details of this investigation. I'm sure rentboy.com itself were paying taxes, but they probably weren't paying taxes on the services the male escorts were doing. Because if they were paying taxes on that, then that would lead open to, we're doing prostitution. So there's a level of money that they're making that they probably weren't paying taxes on. But this and people might think I'm crazy and probably would not expect me to have this opinion on prostitution. But if you look at places like Nevada that have prostitution legal, it's regulated. Like, you really could. Why should we make the decision on what people can do with their bodies? This goes to the whole abortion aspect as well. Like, why can't someone say, you know what, this is my body, I'm going to charge people to sleep with it, or you know what I mean? I don't understand why we've made prostitution illegal.
Yeah. And it's like you said too. It is kind of like a safe haven. I wonder. I just thought about it right now. Right, if this location wasn't in New York, their main location, if it was established in Nevada, how would that change everything? Because obviously it's through our networks and stuff and internet, and they're everywhere. But would that change any of this?
It probably wouldn't, because it's an online site that's pretty much there. They have probably services throughout the country, probably throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where. I don't know. Maybe this will open up the discussion, but there are a lot of people saying that they feel like this is an attack on the gay community.
This makes me want to stop wearing my shirt that I have.
What shirt?
It's a red shirt, so it's obvious. It's boom obvious. And then it is in the front it says for rent. So it's one of those rent signs.
Oh man!
Yeah, I should start using it now. Now that I know the service is not working, I'm pretty sure this. Look, let me stop.
You may want to reconsider.
I'm just joking. I'm playing. Oh.
Somebody call Carlos. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said before, why haven't we really? Maybe that's the next thing. People are going to start moving from state to state, where certain states will have it legal. Because it seems as if the more we tell people they can't do something, the more they want to do it.
Yeah.
And and this goes back to our discussion from the last episode about, Ashley Madison and people saying, this website, is promoting cheating and things like that. But at the end of the day, that's people's personal relationships. If they decide to cheat, that's between them and their partner. You know what I mean? If this is a legitimate business functioning within the confines of the federal law and the state laws, then I don't see anything wrong with it. But now we really need to start looking at our state laws and our federal laws and saying, why are we saying that people cannot be prostitutes? Why can't they sell their bodies for, as long as they are of legal age? They're of legal age, and they're making this conscious decision to do that. We probably are missing out on money that could, if we're taxing these people for what they're doing, we're probably missing out on a lot of money that could be generated for the country.
And it opens up a lot of jobs.
I wouldn't want to necessarily have that job. And I'm sure a lot of prostitutes don't want to have that. I'm sure a lot of prostitutes and male escorts don't want to have that job either. They're probably this is my last resort.
This is my, yeah.
And they some of the male escorts did look to rentboy.com as a safe haven where, it's a little bit more cleaner. It's a little bit more regulated. You know what I mean? I don't know, because I was never on rentboy.com as a male escort. I'm going to just make that clear. But based on what they're saying, they had scholarship programs for the male escorts as well, so they can put themselves through school. I get it. We've seen the stories. We've heard the, stories of people using the, being a male escort to get them to certain levels to for school and all these different kinds of things. But
falling in love, I'm pretty sure there were some stories that came out of it. Pretty Woman.
Hey. You never know.
I love your. You never know.
You just never know. I don't know, and that to me is a larger discussion, and we want to hear from you guys. We want to know, what do you guys think? Should prostitution be made legal throughout the United States? I mean, it was definitely not on priority list.
Oh, imagine that thing leaking, like the list of clients.
Oh, from Rent Boy?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be a mess.
That,
But I wonder what's going to happen to Rent Boy. I know that the website, I think, has been taken down. I mean, the business pretty much is shut down. But don't they have businesses outside the U.S.? I wonder. So we don't know. Maybe the Rent Boy CEO wants to come here on the show, but maybe he can't because he legally can't talk about how this business was run. So never mind.
is he out? Is he still in jail?
I'm assuming he's out because if he made millions and millions of dollars from this business, like he made millions, like over $10 million over the last couple of years. So I'm sure
It's crazy, right? It's just crazy. And then we have other people like Joe Fransco. What's his name? The one that did the Girls Gone Wild.
Yeah.
Like he made lots of money off of that, and that was okay.
Well, I don't know if it was necessarily okay. Didn't he have a lot of legal troubles too?
I mean, true.
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not trying to hate on anybody's business. Not Joe Francis, not rentboy.com. I mean, as long as you work within the legal confines, I have no problem with it. The same with the legalization of weed and things like that. If you want to regulate it, and it's not for me. I don't want to do that. But if it's not harming people, if it's not necessarily the gateway drug, or if the prostitution is not a gateway for human trafficking, or you know what I mean, like you're not molesting children, you're not harboring young girls. Like, okay, then I can see where, like, if you can regulate this and you can have these people pay taxes on what they're doing, then I'm all for it. You know what I mean? I can't sit here and tell you what to do with your body.
Exactly. We can. It will be hard to stop everybody as a whole. Just because you shut this down doesn't mean it's going to end.
It's not going to end.
The all is not. Yeah, it's not going to end. I see people walking like ladies of the night. Walking all the time on this trail called, or this big street in Orlando, and everybody knows this. It's called Orange Blossom Trail. You see the women just walk it up and down. It's not legal in Florida, but it goes on, and I feel bad for those ladies because it's like there's no protection. And if they get protection, it's like a pimp, type of situation where that's not probably good either.
Yeah. And that's why they say the rentboy.com, these male escorts can kind of pretty much pimp themselves through this website.
There's people, and maybe if the services are out there, people are not out there going crazy and going on killing sprees or trapping these women in their basements if they had,
I mean, some of this stuff can still happen, but maybe they do need maybe we do need to legalize this so that as a whole, there can be regulations put in place so people can be protected. Protected,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know that a lot of people listening, like, they should just go get a regular job. They should go work at McDonald's. They should go work here. They should, I did it. Why can't they do it? I get that too. But maybe some people just don't have the skills. I know I couldn't work at no damn TJ Maxx. I know I couldn't, serve food. Like, I probably could have done it, but I don't want to. You know what I mean? Not every job is for everyone.
Nah. Oh, you know what job I would like?
What?
Cheryl's job.
Whose?
I don't know if you've seen this. It's a waitress. Her name is Cheryl, and she works for this restaurant in Chicago, where the waitresses are paid there to be rude to the clients. So it's the most funniest thing ever. So it's like, yeah, you want your soda? What kind? Can I have that?
That must be like people that are into fetishes, where they're like they like when people are rude to them and nasty to them.
Exactly.
That's where they're gonna go. What's the name of this restaurant?
I'll tell you in a second.
Really? I'm gonna need you to be a little bit more prepared. If you guys just tuned in, this is of course First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and me, the KEMPIRE. Don't forget, we are on iTunes now. Make sure you subscribe. It's called First Bitch of the Day, or you can put KEMPIRE Radio in the search engine. Everything should come up, and you'll be the first to get the podcast once they're posted on there. And don't forget, you can also follow us on SoundCloud. Just follow us at KEMPIRE Radio, and you can listen here on KEMPIRERadio.com as well every Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and again for the replay at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can also listen via the free Live 365 app. I actually like that app a lot. But just add KEMPIRE Radio to your favorites. Have you found it yet, Joe?
Yeah, it's just that it's kind of slow.
Wow.
Oh, but it's called Ed the Bevix.
Really?
Ed the Bevix. It's in Chicago. And the waitresses there are paid to be rude, and it's just funny because this restaurant been around for like 20 years, but now this waitress, she just went viral. You have to check out the story or the video.
Wow. Well, we hope you guys.
It's a food waitress, and you'll find it on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. It's episode 5 of First Bitch of the Day. Thank you to Joe Paradise.
Thank you, Kemp.
We hope you guys enjoyed the topics that we talked about. Make sure you guys hit us up on Twitter at the number 1 BOTD, or on our Instagram the same, number 1 BOTD, and let us know what you are bitching about, and you never know, we may discuss it here on First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and me, the KEMPIRE. Until next time, make sure you guys have... Wait, do you have a saying for the week? Last week you had a saying. What was it?
I always got a saying. Well, I'm just saying, I would have been a lot open to the pansexual idea back when. Just saying. Just saying.
Oh, okay.
Pansexual all the way.
He's pro-pansexual.
I'm still gonna start a Facebook page. No.
Oh, damn.
Oh, you know what I'm doing out here though? Real quick. Hopefully I'm alive in a week. Erica, the hurricane. So I'm like preparing for that.
Oh my god.
So everybody stay dry.
You stay safe out there. Thank you guys so much for listening to First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and me.
Thanks for tuning in to First Bitch of the Day with Joe Paradise and the KEMPIRE. Don't forget, you can subscribe to the podcast and the show on iTunes now. Just look for First Bitch of the Day or KEMPIRE Radio.